You need to have your normal probability table. I am not going to refer to it in this video since the last video talked about how you use your table. So read this problem, and we're going to work 3 parts of it, and then another video will be the last 2. So as I read the problem, I wrote down the relevant information. So the main part was x bar is 7 and s equals 2. So in part A, what's the probability that the load times will be more than 9 seconds? Okay, it could be 9.1 seconds, 9.2 seconds. I just happen to use integers in this example. So we're trying to find the probability that x, this is an x, it's a real world number, that x is greater than 9. Now to use my table, I had to have z's, so I've got to convert that 9 to a z. Z equals x, which is 9, minus the mean over the standard deviation. That gives me a value of 1.00. So that's equivalent to the probability that z is greater than 9. So now I draw a picture. We've standardized it, so we know the mean is 0, and the z value is 1.0. And I want the probability z is greater than 9, so I want this area here. So you need to go to your table and look up the number 1.00, and that gives you a 0.3413, because that's the probability between 0 and your z value. But that's not what you're looking for. So you need to take 0.5, which is all of this area, all this underneath, all this probability, and subtract off 0.3413, and what's left is 0.1587, and that corresponds to that area. So there's your answer. Part B, what's the probability that the page will be less than 7? Probability, x is less than 7, or x is greater than 9. So z equals, convert this 7, and that will be 7x minus the mean over standard deviation. That gives you 0. And the other one, 9 minus 7 over 2, which is 1. And if I draw a picture, this is 0, of course. Trying to find the probability that z is less than 0 or z is greater than 1. Well, z is less than 0 is all that, and that's 0.5. We know that. Z is greater than 1 is this, and we found the previous example for that to be 0.1587. So we need to add 0.5 plus 0.1587, and that's 0.6587, and that is your answer. Now let's do part C. What is the probability that the load times will be between 5 and 9? Here's a 5 and a 9. Z equals x minus the mean over 2. That gives you -1. Z is 9 minus 7 over 2, which is 1. So I want to draw a picture. This is the probability of -1 less than z less than 1. So if I draw a picture, this is 0, and I want the probability in between a -1 and a 1. So I'm looking for all of this. So if you look up, go to your table and look up 1.00, and you'll see that's 0.3413. Well, there must be a 0.3413 over there as well because of symmetry. So my answer is 0.3413 times 2, and that gives me 0.6826.